Close, but not close enough for the Dragons against the reigning two-time premiers last night, the Penrith Panthers. It doesn't get any easier too. Where they stand at the moment, 3 wins to their name. The coach, as you saw there, sacked. The coach they wanted doesn't want a bar of them. The sponsor, the main one they have, might be on the outer. So too, one of their star players. And their road ahead, South Sydney, a week off, then the Warriors, Sharks and Raiders. All those teams in the top 8. Gus, where do we start with that pile? It's
it's a challenge, but, you know, I've seen worse. They nearly beat the Premiers last night, so they've got the ability to win any game they play in. It might seem bad at the moment, but, you know, maybe they've hit rock bottom. Maybe they're on the way back.
It would have felt like rock bottom last week when Jason Ryles turned them down.
Yeah, not surprising to me. I think I said that on this show a couple of weeks ago, that I'd be surprised if he took that job in preference to the Storm job, which was being offered to him. And that's the way it turned out. He's decided to go down and coach under Craig Bellamy, which he spent a number of years there at the Melbourne Storm, and he'll take over when Craig gives it away. And the Dragons was a difficult assignment, because I'm still of the belief it's not the coaching that's the major issue there, and it's not just the coach that's going to solve it. So, you know, they've got a lot of work to do over a long period of time, and I'm not sure that's the job of a head coach, particularly a rookie head coach going into his first job. Jason Ryles has a great love for the Dragons. Of course, he played for the club and he comes from the Illawarra area. It would have been very easy for him to accept that, but it's not the job for a rookie head coach at the moment. I don't even think a head coach can solve
Gus,
it.
do you think they could do like what a Tigers doing? Get a Shane Fleming and Des Hasler type senior coach who's been there, done it before, and bring someone like a Dean Young or Ben Hornby along with him? Do you think that's what's needed there?
I've always favoured that sort of coaching structure. Whether those type of people are available or the right type of people, I don't know. But there are other aspects of the Dragons to get out of where they are and back into being consistently competitive and consistently successful. There's a whole range of things that merged club needs to address, and it's as simple as that. And it's not a coaching issue. It's the coach can't solve all the issues that they need to work on. There's got to be other things that are in place.
Gus, you're being pretty modest, because you were the one who said first that Ryles wouldn't take the job. And that's the reason I kept on chasing that story, because I wanted to know exactly why that would be. And right now, as it stands, there are 3 people that are being talked to. Obviously, Shane Flanagan, Hornby and Young. Now, Dean Young has the support of the St George side of the board. Shane Flanagan has an obstacle in Peter Dowse, who's a board member. There have been people working on Peter Dowse to try and bring him around to Shane Flanagan's thinking. And I think there's a genuine fear within the Dragons organisation right now of a rookie coach again after what happened with Jason Ryles knocking them back. I think they're concerned that it is an enormous job and may not be a rookie's job. So I think it feels to me like that would mean that Shane Flanagan would have a real chance, because he's been there and done that. Whether somebody comes out from left field, I'm not sure. But they're the 3 names that I've been told are still the ones they're talking to. People have been saying that Ben Hornby would be out of the running. That's not quite true, but they're saying that because Hornby has the same manager as Jason Ryles, and there's a level of dissatisfaction with the way the Ryles deal went. But as of today, Ben Hornby, as I've been told, is still definitely still in the running and still a contender, and they've put the differences with the agent, George Mimas, to one side after the last dealings. They know they have to be professional and talk to all people.
So that's the coaching scenario, Denny. What about Ben Hunt? Because every time that we discuss the coach, it seems that he's the next breath.
Well, look, the word that keeps coming out of there is Ben Hunt's frustrated. I haven't talked to Ben Hunt myself. I do keep hearing, though, that he will get through this origin period and then start to make decisions about what he's going to do. Obviously, he has to hear who the coach is. I think he was told that Ryles was going to be the coach, and then it didn't happen. So you can understand his frustration. And the latest on Ben Hunt is clubs have been telling me that the Titans will have a crack at him, and they're prepared to maybe move on a couple of their halves in order to make room for him, if that was to happen. I still think the top dog, I think Gus is still somewhere in the running for Ben Hunt. I know he won't probably confirm that to me, but I hear the Dogs are still sort of waiting around for that to possibly happen.
How do the Bulldogs keep getting a run every time you open about rumours?
It's because you've got a big wallet, Gus. That's why he's sitting lopsided tonight.
How much longer is Ben Hunt on contract for?
He's still got a couple of years.
So he'd have to get released from his contract.
He'd have to say, I'm not happy.
Have a go at their spine, so to speak. Their kids, other than him, their kids. I tipped them to come last year purely on the back. I knew Ben Hunt would be in Origin. And I knew he probably wouldn't play every game. And the rest of their spine is young, very young. So how would they cope without him?
Well, that's up to the club. I can't answer that question. That's up to the club.
I think the biggest issue too is that they've got young Jaden Sullivan there, and they've got a Mo, and they've got two young halves they're trying to nurture there. And the temptation is always to keep pushing Ben Hunt to hooker. Now, he doesn't want to play hooker at this age, just to accommodate the two young halves. So whoever takes over there as coach has got to decide, does he want to go with the experience of Ben Hunt, or is he going to rely on the younger fellas and bringing them through? But I think the first incorrect step would be trying to make Ben Hunt play hooker.
Right.
Because that will only exacerbate the frustration that he has. I think he was probably prepared to do it for Anthony Griffin because they're friends. And if Anthony Griffin asked him to do it, he would do it, but reluctantly. Right. And I think in Anthony Griffin's last game, he went there for like 15 minutes. Sullivan got sin bin, and he didn't put Sullivan back on and put Ben Hunt back to halfback. I don't think Ben Hunt wants to finish his career playing at 9. And at the moment, I think that's his biggest frustration.
Origin's one thing, Clubland's another. Denny, am I right in saying Jason Ryles he's no longer coaching at the Roosters?
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
He can't start at the Storm until next year?
I think he starts, I don't know if it's his choice or not, but I think he's starting November 30 or around,
The new contract period,
yeah.
Is that standard procedure, Gus, if you were letting in a high-profile assistant coach go to a rival?
I don't think the Roosters have put that on him. I think Melbourne Storm are in their season. They probably, they'll just go with what they've got for